Wait, Star 94 is 94.1. Is there still a Peach 94.9?
You're asking the wrong guy. We got 99X back, but it's not in the 99s.
What?
The Metro Atlanta area has restored its alternative rock radio station of the 90s, 99X, but...
Which was on 99.7.
It was 99.7. I think 99.7 is something else now. So it's on like 101.5 or 105. It's
101.5 used to be Kicks, I believe.
Yes, but I don't even know if that's around. But 99X is back, baby. But it's just not where you would expect it to be.
I feel like that's slightly more egregious than getting the .net domain name.
Tastes Like Burning had a .net, my beloved high school band.
Yeah, with a reference like that in the early days of the internet, I have to imagine that .com got swooped up swiftly.
You know, that was a Luke decision. And Luke's always been the kind of guy who will assume that everyone will figure out his system.
I can't express to you how much I understand that.
Oh, yeah. There's a good reason you guys have both been the very best buds of me.
It's like an hourly struggle for me to push back against those urges so that I can have any level of success or I don't know what the word I'm looking for is here, but in terms of quality relationships, lasting relationships, I suppose, but that's not really the way I was trying to go with it. But yeah, the only way I can maintain any sense of relationship with anyone or make it is by fighting those urges constantly.
You are I think you might be my only Android friend. I've got a couple more, but you're definitely the green text I get the most. And there is a flavor of that to my dear Luke, currently applying his big old brain to Bit Brigade, whom we've opened for, as they play video game music. For whom we've opened.
Do they have a current release we could push?
What did they put out most recently? Hold on, might as well give it some clicks.
Yeah, just check out lukesplug.net. Or would it just be lukeplug.net? There's
an element of like green text to your mentality and Luke's mentality, even though Luke is on an iPhone. There's also...
There are a lot of social ramifications to having green texts. Like, there are a handful of chats that I'm just not allowed to be in.
Right.
And I can imagine for someone like him who's, in these bands and in these groups, especially around other creative people, and creative people can be quite fickle, it's probably easier for him to assimilate that way and that lets him focus his energies elsewhere.
There is an element of that scene in Office Space where Michael Bolton says, "Why should I change my name? He's the one that sucks."
Yes.
Like, no, I'm right here. I don't care what the rest of the world is going for. .net is a superior suffix.
And he's right. He's absolutely right. Betamax was the better format.
Mm-hmm.
I'm split on Blu-ray versus HD DVD, but being right rarely is the same as being chosen.
I thought you were going to say happy. The most recent streaming release, album-wise, for Bit Brigade is Castlevania, the soundtrack to Castlevania.
Excellent.
I recommend seeing them live, though. I think that's how you best ingest Bit Brigade.
I recommend both going and seeing them live. Do not ask to get on the guest list. Please pay for tickets. They are a working band. And then as a cooling off period, as you're being driven home, either in an Uber or with your designated driver, because one would hope that you've also contributed to the bar because they get a piece of that as well. So we hope you've had a few drinks while you've been out. But then on the way home, again, cooling off period, do some streaming as well.
Yes. Before you leave, buy a t-shirt from my childhood best friend, Luke, and you will get to see his elaborate, complex, understandable only to him system of organizing the band's t-shirts. And you'll get a little taste of the guy I hung out with every day from like 2nd to 7th grade, and then some.
If we're saying, like, if we're listing merch to buy, in order, would you say it's sticker, then shirt, then record?
I'll let the record people buy their records. If you're a record person, buy a record. If you're not a record person, don't buy a record. Don't spend money on something. They'll sell it to somebody.
I'm just thinking about margin plus visibility.
Go for the hoodie.
And barrier to entry, because there might be some Po folks listening.
Oh, by all means, get a sticker. Get the, you know what? Get a t-shirt.
I thought you were going to say, you know what? Steal a sticker.
No, don't steal anything. If you are really that strapped for cash, if you are the listener who is taking Jerod up on his imperative to go see Bit Brigade live and get some drinks while you're there, and that leaves you with no money for a t-shirt, buy the t-shirt and email me at bitbrigade t-shirt rebate at verygmail.com. We will exchange stories about watching Bit Brigade. I'll have to know that you were there. I'll need some sort of photographic evidence of you in a Bit Brigade shirt that you could not afford, but you bought it anyway. And I will reimburse you. I will put $20 in an envelope and mail it to you. I will wait until your birthday. I will put it in a birthday card so you don't have to explain to your significant other why you're getting $20 from a stranger.
I have a better idea.
Sure.
Partnership with Bit Brigade. Promo code Home Alone Minute. 100% off your first t-shirt. And I will reimburse Luke for everyone.
He can print out the orders, mail those orders to you, and you will send him cash stuffed in a birthday card. That's the way to get it done.
That I will leave for him at an abandoned ATM vacuum.
You'll hide it in a red box case.
I put it in a Jumanji case in a red box.
It's outside a Walgreens in Wisconsin. So whenever you're driving through.
For those who do not want to appear poor to Luke,
right.
You can still just email me at bitbrigade@verygmail.com for a judgment-free Venmo.
It's impossible to appear poor at a Bit Brigade show because they are, of course, formal attire only. It's a black suit and tails kind of operation. Bunch of sweaty nerds in top hats watching those guys play music that was never intended to be played with human hands live.
So the time when you and Luke were spending every day together, what was that, about 94?
That was about 94. How long would we hang out? All day. All day.
There's no crowd for me to yell this at, but I want to say, what minute are we on?
We made it to minute 94, Jerod. My favorite iteration of the Electronic Arts NHL property of games for the Sega Genesis. Most people are 93 purists. I'm a 94 guy.
See, we're all a little bit green text sometimes.
Sure. That is my green text moment. I'll stand by NHL 94 over 93.
What do you think it is about that edges it out over 93?
Really, it's just the one that I had.
I see. Access.
Right. But I don't think they made it worse from 93 to 94. So you just got some updated rosters. Maybe it's a little bit different. I can't remember if they took the blood out. They might have taken the blood out between 93 and 94.
Can we go back to the minutes when you said they couldn't have made it worse? They could have in order to create artificial demand for 95.
Yeah, maybe.
But on the 94th minute of Home Alone, the movie, not the Sega Genesis game.
We'll get into that eventually.
I do wonder where you'd be 94 minutes into that game.
Level 1. Have you seen it? Oh my God.
Isn't there a documentary about how they buried a bunch of Home Alone games in the desert?
That's E.T., but Home Alone's not far off. I think What's the best movie adaptation video game? Is there even... Oh, never mind. I got it. There's one great one.
NES Batman was pretty good.
True. And I've seen Bit Brigade play it live. Not the one I was thinking of. The listeners right now are screaming at you in their cars, Jerod. They've put the laundry down.
Jurassic Park?
No, you silly goose. GoldenEye.
Ah. It looks like one of us had friends in their youth.
We did have like the one rich kid in the neighborhood who had like the finished basement with the big screen TV. Played a lot of GoldenEye at that kid's house. Minute 94 of Home Alone. Jerry, can I tell you what happens?
I'm begging you.
Well, Gus and Kate are continuing their conversation. Gus is relaying the rest of the story about when he left his child at a funeral parlor. I'm just leaning into how I can't say it right.
Parlor does sound like a Douglas Adams species.
I struggle with it because my grandparents were from Boston, Massachusetts, and that's what they called their living room.
The parlor?
Yeah, and it's hard for me to not say that, so I'm trying not to say that. Ooh, it's tough.
Fight the urge.
The story is hilariously sad, and Kate says that's enough, and Gus was like, I was just trying to make you feel better. And then we cut back over to Kevin. Christmas morning, he wakes up, it's snowing outside, and he's pretty happy, and then the minute's over.
Great summary of what feels like a sparse minute, but a good one.
Yeah, we get the end of this amazing scene between Kate and Gus. And then we see little Kevin wake up, rubbing his eyes.
This has nothing to do with the greater zeitgeist and everything to do with my own personal lore.
Mm-hmm.
But the all day is probably the line I quote from Home Alone the most. But
well, that's because you don't spend any time with people who are such a disease.
But what's interesting about it is that it's also the least recognized.
I mean, you say it to me. I'm right there with you.
Yes, because you are pure of heart.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But most of the folks I interact with on a daily basis are not the little tykes to get it.
People don't love this movie as much as we do. And that's part of what this podcast is all about. Get on our level.
2 minutes back to back where John Candy has improv'd something by estimating a number of weeks with sequential numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good technique for feeling like an estimation, but needing to put a number in.
Mm-hmm.
In minute 93, he was talking about weeks out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And in minute 94, he's talking about how many weeks it took for his son to come around and start talking again.
How many weeks was that, Jerod?
I'm going to say 6-7 weeks. Do we have a button on our board for that?
6-7. If you're joining us sometime after
the week
winter
where this is happening,
2026, where it's already dead amongst some age groups.
Oh, if we're saying it, it's gone.
I heard it today. We took Lola to the little indoor playground gym thing, and there were some small children there, 6-7ing away.
They just don't know that we're saying it. If you had told them that I was saying it, they would stop.
Oh, hey, this guy I know, he's in his 30s. He says it too. Isn't that cool?
Email him at 67@gmail.com.
You got to write it out though. 6-7, all spelled out. @verygmail.com.
Yeah, I'll get any permutation, but I'm only responding to that one.
Yeah. It's the easiest one to remember.
We covered their great riffage last minute, but this is just further validation that they are great. And I'll say it again, I would love to see what fell on the floor during this improv session.
And Catherine O'Hara seems a little more composed in this half of the scene where she's reacting to John Candy and not necessarily trying to cover up that she's almost breaking.
Yeah, I wonder if this is a second or third attempt at crafting the same kind of story.
I have to think that the first time he said that he's after 6 or 7 weeks he started talking again, that the first time he said that cut everybody up. It's so funny.
Like, she's not a late 2000s SNL cast member who just breaks constantly, but she is human also. So one would imagine that some of these big ones would have hit her, and like regardless of how well trained she is at keeping a straight face.
Yeah, maybe not, but man, it's so funny. All day.
It was okay. After 6-7 weeks, came around, started talking again.
This kid didn't speak for a month and a half. And he wasn't around for it either. He went to this funeral and got right back on the road.
I think I've mentioned this in a previous minute, but we hear her Canadian accent here.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, where she says, because she's saying like, maybe we shouldn't talk about this. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, whatever. Mm-hmm. And she goes, sorry, I did.
They shouldn't talk about it.
Like it's not super pronounced, but like your ears will perk up if you're a person who listens for accents.
Yeah, you have an ear for accents that I don't. So I will take your word on that.
I'd say go back and give it an additional watch.
How much time have you ever spent with a corpse?
I could measure it in hours, not days.
Mm-hmm. Well, so could Gus's son, I guess.
Well, all day. Is that a full day?
Let's say the funeral was at
4.
Let's give them the early slot. Let's say it was like 10
a.m.
Yeah,
10 a.m. funeral. Who's getting out of bed for that? These are polka bums.
Yeah, they have to get the early slot. It's cheaper.
Oh. I was thinking a bunch of musicians. It's like they're not waking up before noon. Because was this this wasn't a polka bum funeral.
No, this is a great uncle or something like that.
Okay, so 10 a.m. funeral.
Mm-hmm. Then they go home. It's all day. They got to get their wits about them again.
Right, they skip lunch. They're hungry for dinner.
He doesn't come to dinner.
6-7 hours later.
Ooh, I like what you did there. Okay. The funeral ended at 11. So yeah, about 7-8 hours.
Well, how far away were they? Like, was this an out-of-town funeral? Well, and like, out-of-town is, how long is a piece of string? But was it an hour away? Was it 10 minutes away? Like, when they noticed, was it like, oh, we got to get back?
Yeah.
This is 90 minutes away.
Yeah.
Was it a weekday funeral? Was there traffic? Because if they're trying to battle 285 to get to a funeral.
Well, Gus is a nice guy, though. He's not the kind of father who's going to acknowledge that as the added inconvenience of his own mistake. Because that makes it sound like it was the kid's fault that he got him back into traffic.
Oh, I don't think about the inconvenience of it. I'm just thinking about the amount of hours spent. Right? Because if you realize this...
Mm-hmm. It might be 10 p.m. before you get back to him.
Right.
Yeah. Big difference between 7:30 and 10. The sun's down. That corpse is getting scarier.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about this.
Just trying to cheer you up. You brought it up.
I don't know why, but I imagine his wife with short, dark hair.
Okay.
Like, how when someone gives you a story that involves, he's talking about him and his wife kind of doing this. I don't think is an attempt to share blame. I think he's just recounting. But for some reason, I get a visual of what I think the two of them look like when they're grieving.
Just the idea of them not being dressed for the funeral anymore.
She's taken off that hat that has a veil over
right,
it.
Yeah. They're back in their, regular casual weekday clothes. I've got the day off from work. I mean, Gus never, he's probably got the Kenosha Kickers bomber jacket or whatever that is, the windbreaker.
Let's call it a satin jacket.
Yeah, it's okay. He's probably got the Kenosha Kickers satin jacket as he wheels this station wagon back into the empty parking lot of a funeral home. And knocks on the door? Is the kid outside? They knock on the door, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of it a la My Girl, where it's a...
Yeah, I'm thinking 6 Feet Under, where it's like a residence too.
Yeah.
You went with the Macaulay Culkin reference, which is smart of you.
I just appreciate consistency.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably some combination of yelling and knocking.
Maybe, I don't think it's yelling.
Like, are you in there? Like he's calling out to his son.
I think
who at this point he doesn't know won't be responding.
Well, he politely knocks on the door. Dan Aykroyd answers and he explains like, hey, we were here for a funeral earlier. I think my son's here. Confused look from Dan Aykroyd. They start looking around. They got to check the last place, the basement. And then there's Gus Jr. just sitting down, not speaking with the corpse.
Or maybe speaking to the corpse, which is why he wouldn't speak to anyone alive for weeks after. Because people keep interrupting him.
The implication is that the time in the funeral home has psychologically messed him up, and that's why he's not speaking. Is it possible that he's just really mad at Gus? And when he calls home from on the road, it's like, hey, can I talk to Gus Jr.? And Gus Jr.'s like, doesn't look up from the Nintendo.
So you're positing that this wasn't a traumatic experience. He's just holding a grudge.
I think it's possible. I like what I'm assuming is the default interpretation that it screwed him up in the head, and that's why he didn't speak. But it does make perfect sense that he's speaking. He's fine. He's just mad at his dad and doesn't want to talk to him.
Which, if you ignore what is the most likely result from a traumatic event, it is a very likely scenario in terms of a father completely misunderstanding the intent and actions of a son.
Hey, we got to put Gus Jr. in some therapy. He's not speaking. I was like,
whereas his wife is like, no, he's speaking
good
to me.
We had a long talk the other day. He just hates you.
Bruce Willis pops in. He's like, he's been speaking to me. That is a very dad misunderstanding. It feels very innocent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he is doing the best he can with what he knows.
And maybe it's his wife trying to save his feelings. Hey, is Gus Jr. talking yet? No, he's still not saying anything. What's that, Mom? Oh, nothing. Did you want to talk to Dad? No, I hate him. He left me at the funeral home. He's awful.
Sorry, Gus. It's breaking up. Talk to you in a couple weeks.
He might have a very generous wife in that sense. Covering for the boy. Speaking of covers and boys, Macaulay Culkin's in the master bed.
Impeccable transition.
The best there is.
I keep having these apologetic pop-ups where I want to acknowledge how much what I'm going to say will sound like a reach, but it actually isn't.
I'll be the judge.
Like as an actor.
Hold on. Let me get out my reach-o-meter.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Hold on. It needs a USB-C block. Okay. I'm good.
It's not one of the like Chinese ones that's blue, but it's actually USB 2 spec instead of 3, right?
You know, it's hard to tell these days. I just plug it in and hope that it doesn't die. Anyway.
Let me know when it's at like 10%.
No, it's good now. Yeah,
okay.
It's good.
Okay. So the acting in this scene, he does such a convincing job of waking up.
I agree.
That's something I see adults struggle with, and I want to give him double kudos as an 8-year-old. Because imagine any child you know being given the command, hey, pretend you're asleep. And they do this tight eye closing.
Yes.
And their face just like contorts into the middle.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, don't look pained.
Yeah.
Like
there's no way you're actually asleep.
Right. Whereas he does a pretty good, like, relaxed, eyes closed, kind of almost REM simulation.
He's not saying honk shoe.
Right.
I like the eye rub. The eye rub is pretty convincing for me. It's a little, cliche, but like I buy it.
Well, and the vision coming into focus / slow realization that he has after is also, again, this like thing that child acting can often have, which is like instantaneous reaction.
Right.
Something that I think I'm not a good person for. Like, I'm a bad person because I harshly judge a lot of child acting that I see.
Yeah. And
it takes me out of it. And that like instantaneous reaction to things as opposed to slower realizations, like being able to understand like human reaction time. And again, he's just waking up. He doesn't do eyes open, it's snowing, the way that I see so many kids do. It's like wake up, rub the eyes, kind of squint a little.
I believe you
out.
complimented his pacing last minute, and he's doing it well again, too. I would wager that anyone watching this scene out of context and not even knowing what movie it is can see these two shots. Kevin wakes up, rubs his eyes, looks out the window, then back to him, and he's smiling. I think everyone knows exactly what day it is. This is really every kid who celebrates Christmas on Christmas Day. You wake up and it's like this weird feeling of, I've made it. I've made it to Christmas. Here it is. I have arrived. It has arrived. My path and the path of Christmas intersect today.
We have converged.
And that excitement is very relatable. And of course, Kevin here is filled with like that Christmas hope that his family's back. He's done all the work that he needs to do. He's grown. He's wished for it. He's prayed for it. He's atoned in all the ways he knows how to.
He's bribed Santa.
Right?
And his reindeer.
So the hope in his eyes that his Christmas is going to work out is so real here.
It's a good reference for manifestation. Like he's almost already grateful for what he's about to receive. Like he's so certain that he's about to go downstairs. And in fact, right before this minute ends, the one line we get from him is a single word.
At the end of this minute?
Yeah.
Does he say mom here?
He does.
Yeah. He just wants his mom. I get it. It's so good.
So good.
Jerod, I'm gonna say it. Home Alone's a good movie.
I'm holding out.
Yeah? You're gonna see how it ends?
I am a completionist.
Okay.
You have to stick the landing. Ask Carrie Strug.
Ooh, yeah. Gotta say a little prayer and do it.
I might watch this movie again.
How often?
Maybe every like 6-7 years.